Subject to the provision of this Constitution, each House of the National Assembly shall have power by a resolution published in its journal or in the official gazette of the government of the Federation to direct or cause to be directed investigation into any matter or thing with respect to which it has power to make laws. B, the conduct of the affairs of any person, authority, ministry, or government department charged, or intended to be charged with the duty of or responsibility for executing or administering laws enacted by National Assembly and disbursing or administering monies to be appropriated by the National Assembly. Mr. President of the Senate.
Welcome to Elite TV, and this is J on Matter Arising. Yes, the screening of the ministerial nominee before the Senate today went rowdy as Festus Keyamo, appeared before the Senate to clear himself. As the screening was ongoing, a senator from Abia State rose to move a motion for suspension of the screening of Keyamo. Why was this done? Now, I'm going to give you these details, but before then, please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do it to hit that subscription button and the notification button to get much more of our videos. So here is what Keyamo said, introducing himself. After that, I will bring to you what happened while the suspension of Festus Keyamo from, for the screening. Here is it.
Sir, I am a member of the INABA, sir. I'm a senior advocate of Nigeria. I practiced law for about 30 years, sir. And I'm also a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Arbitration, United Kingdom. And so I also practice international arbitration, sir. I was called to the Nigerian bar about 30 years ago, sir. And over this period, sir, I have used the instrumentality of the law in many situations to advance the cause of democracy, sir, and the respect for the rule of law. That has been the story of my life. In fact, coincidentally, sir, when our present president was in exile, fighting for the return of democracy in Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we were the young lawyers in Nigeria here who were empaneled by my late boss then, the late Chief Gani Fahimi, who were coordinating the release of NADECO leaders who were detained across the country at that time. Many of them. So that was the role we were playing while our president was abroad at that time on the platform of NADECO, also fighting for the return of democracy to Nigeria. So coincidentally, our paths crossed again when I joined the Action Congress of Nigeria in Delta State, just at the cusp of forming the All Progressives Congress at that time. And of course, we were the foundation members of the APC from the ACN in Delta State. So, as a private lawyer, I represented clients across the country, both the rich and the poor. I represented so many of them. In the course of that, I won so many of the cases. I lost so many of the cases, like all lawyers do. And of course, many of them are still pending in court. This passion for the promotion of rule of law and human rights led me to receive the global award called the Global Human Rights Award by the United States Global Leadership Council in Washington in 2017. I was conferred with this global award. And in 2019, sir, I appeared before this same revered Senate. I appeared here as a ministerial nominee. And magnanimously, sir, you confirmed my nomination at that time as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The use of the word magnanimous confirmation after the screening. So, the Civil Senior Advocate of Nigeria, your brief resume is known to all, and the few cases you have cited also show your sagacity in the legal profession. The Civil Senator is Jibril.
Festus Keyamo lies too much. He spread a lot of fake news and now it's coming back to haunt him. You think that he will be able to continue to do things as usual under Buhari administration, then coming under Tinubu's administration, he can just, continue to run his mouth and all of that. Now, look at it. He has been jetted out. They have gone into closed session as we speak right now because the whole house is not in support of the screening going on because of what he did. Remember, he bought a house in US some months ago, and now there is an allegation now there is an allegation of how 52 billion naira that was appropriated under his ward during the last administration. What did he do with that money? Let him explain himself before they can screen him to become a minister. Remember, I once said, are we going to have a cabinet full of criminals? We have seen some nominees having issues with their certificate. We have seen some nominees having issues, with when they graduated from school. We have some nominees that have forgery cases and all of that. But, it's not a surprise thing because you have a president who is battling with forgery, money laundering, and also drug trafficking. The case is in court already, so it is not for me to talk about it. You all know. So I'm not surprised to see some of those things coming up in his cabinet, ministerial list. You're having all those kind of drama here and there. Okay, let me allow you to watch what the senator says about Festus Keyamo, Mr. Fake News. And when you're done watching, please do it to subscribe, hit the notification button, like this video, share it, and then I will see you in our next episode. See you.
Subject to the provision of this Constitution, each House of the National Assembly shall have power by resolution published in its journal or in the official gazette of the government of the Federation to direct or cause to be directed investigation into any matter or thing with respect to which it has power to make laws. B, the conduct of the affairs of any person, authority, ministry, or government department charged, or intended to be charged with the duty of or responsibility for executing or administering laws enacted by National Assembly and disbursing or administering monies appropriated to be appropriated by the National Assembly. Mr. President of the Senate, I'm aware that this National Assembly and this arm, the Senate, has 3 major mandates. 1, lawmaking. Secondly, oversight. And thirdly, representation. And I know quite well that what we are doing today is a continuation of what we did yesterday. And I'm happy to have the nominee here present. And he has said wonderful things, and which of them he said that he used instrumentality of law, which is part and parcel of, to advance the cause of justice. And I know quite well as well that this House, or this Senate, usually use the instrumentality of legislature to advance the cause of fairness. Mr. President of the Senate, I want to bring to the notice, because I've been a 2-time House of Assembly member, 2-time House of Rep member, and today a senator. And I was in the 8th Assembly of the House of Representatives, and the 9th Assembly, and today I am here. And I know that our rule book does not in any way exclude the continuation of free will drive of one section to the other. Having said that, Mr. Senate President, I want to bring to the notice of this House that sometime in 2020, that an issue came up. And that issue was the Public Works Program. We all welcomed it with open hands, because this is something that will help our people. Today we are talking about paying 8,000 to some people to make sure that it will alleviate poverty. Then it was the amount of 20,000 to 1,000 persons across the 774 local governments, which my local government is part of it. And I'm sure your local government is part of it. And today, 1,000 per each local government, minimum, 20,000 naira, has a great multiplier effect that will make our people cushion so many effects that would have led our people into a very greater height. But what really happened? At a point, we wanted to carry out our responsibility, because if some people can use the instrumentality of law, which they find themselves within their confines of their own authority, to advance for all their justices, why can't we use the instrumentality of the legislature to support our people and help the populace, which we represent? Then, at that point, we invited the nominee, because this thing has been a subject of controversy and public debate, which I don't know. We wanted to know and give him fair hearing. Please tell us, because it's now within our own confines authority to know what happened to our constituents. Say, please come and tell us what really happened. What is the structure? What are the indices you are using to carry out this thing? Because our people will hold us responsible and accountable. And when he was invited, what we are talking about is a 52 billion naira appropriation, and the right of appropriation resides on the legislature. That is our right. And I know quite well that the right of oversight resides on us, because we have to hold you accountable for whatever thing we appropriate to you. It is our right. And when he was invited, he expressly told us, to the public, that we want to hijack his role, that we want to blackmail us, that we are corrupt, that we want to hijack his role. And I know that he midwifed the process. Nobody's against that. He midwifed the process, and this falls within his own area of operation as the junior minister for labor and employment. Highly welcome. And not only that, he went as far as in the public line to say that when he was asked, which indices did you use to gain this? He said, in quote, they are not from the moon. That was too arrogant to answer Nigerians that way. Because we're talking about what we support and help our people. That is why we are here. Anything outside that, I'll walk away from this chamber. My interest, your interest, and the interest of everybody is our people. That is why we are here. Not whatever thing any person is saying. And today, we need to find out, Mr. Senate President. Nobody is stopping him from being cleared. No. And I'm happy the way the president has sent so many people, great people here. We have questioned them passed through the screening, wonderful people, and we're ready. As much as we're ready to work with the system, we're ready to clear them. But not on the grounds of putting something on the table, not granting some people fair hearing, because I would like us to grant him fair hearing since he has been running away from me, for Nigerians to know what really happened. Because I wouldn't like any person to be holding that, because this thing has been subject of debate here and there. What happened to the 52 billion? What happened to the... But he is here, and it's our responsibility to find out. So, Mr. President of the Senate, I'm of the opinion so strongly that he has to tell us what really happened, but not here. We have to keep it down a little bit. We're not saying that we're not going to clear him. This is a house that can reconvene at any point. You can even call for an emergency and we'll reconvene. Because we would not like what happened at the last administration, where some people felt that the president was in charge and so many other things were happening out there. We won't take it this time around. We want a situation, we hold you responsible from the onset. Since Mr. President has started showing us the right hand, we won't follow along that side to make sure that we work with him in that right hand as well. Therefore, Mr. President of the Senate, I'm of the opinion that we hold this down a little bit, and I move a motion that we suspend forthwith this nomination and wait until when this is clear, so that you can freely work in our environment and tell Nigerians, I have perfectly done well because this record has been put straight. That is my submission, Mr. Senate President. I rest my case.
Distinguished colleagues, the point of order raised by Senator Darlington Ugocha is noted. But on the motion, there is no seconder. Okay, but let's find out first. Senator, there's a motion on the ground. If you want, you can second it and amend it, whatever. So if there is no seconder, Leader of the Senate, the point of order had been noted. Now he also proceeded to move a motion, which has not been seconded. So, okay, Senator Abaribe, let me hear you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to second the motion, very ably moved by Senator Darlington Ugocha, that in view of Section 88B of the 1B of the Constitution, which mandates the National Assembly to go ahead and look into the conduct of affairs of any person, authority, or ministry, and where such a person refuses and deliberately stays away from letting the National Assembly do its work, and in view of the fact that this nominee rejected the summons of both the House of Representatives and the Senate, that I do support that this nominee should be stepped down pending when he decides that the National Assembly has that right to inquire into the workings of a minister and his ministry. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded. Those who are in support of the motion that the screening of the nominee be stepped down until further inquiries, say aye. Aye. Those who are against, say nay.
Order, please. Distinguished senators, sit down, please.
for those who may not have gone through. Whenever the President of the Senate or the chairman rises during a debate, any senator then speaking or offering to speak shall immediately sit down, and the Senate or the committee shall be silent so that the President of the Senate or the chairman may hear without any interruption. I am of the view that we are not the people that nominated the nominees that we have been screening from the President. A lot of indices must have been taken into consideration. Under a rowdy situation, we cannot arrive at anything. But I've noticed that from the even here, some of you are prepared to stretch the rule to even asking for division. But we will not go that route. Leader of the Senate, lead us right.
Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, the motion duly has been moved and seconded by the minority leader that this August Assembly do extend the sitting time beyond 2 p.m. Those who are in support of that motion say aye. Aye. Those who are against say nay. The ayes have it. Our sitting period is extended beyond 2 p.m. Minority leader.
Because iron out some issues. Thank you.
I rise to second the motion that we resolve into a closed session to discuss very important issue in regards to the screening. I so second, Mr. President.
A motion has been moved and seconded that this Senate do resolve into a closed session to iron out some issues of national concern. Those who are in support of this closed session as moved say aye. Those who are against say nay. The ayes have it. The Senate will now revert to a closed session. The press will leave us and the nominee will leave us for a while we discuss.